What is going on, my future meta millionaires? It is your boy Terry Stonkers, and welcome to my channel, baby, by the dip. All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about in today's video, so hope you're ready for it. If you are, make sure you smash thumbs up, leave a comment down below. It helps out the algorithm. So, baby, let's go. Okay, so first we're just going to talk about price action real quick. As you can see, Metamaterials kind of was starting out pretty good in the $1.90, $1.96 range, and it did sell off down to $1.80, and we ended the day at $1.79. It did start to pick up a little bit after hours. We ended at $1.83. Kind of ironic, but the chart is kind of flip-flop between MMAT and MMTLP, which this is the Series A preferred share. We started out at $1.73. We shot the whole way up to $1.99. And we hovered around that $1.90 range mostly all day. And I'm not sure exactly when this interview with George took place today. I know Sterling did record it and live stream it. And we're going to go over his video in this video, giving my reactions to George's questions and answers. And right around this 240 range, it dropped. So I don't know if this is market makers playing tricks or hedgies playing tricks on us. And it went the whole way from $1.90 down to $1.76. So it could be maybe they didn't like the answers George gave. There's been a few people message me about this. I've been looking over Twitter. People's messaging Roller Pigeon. People's messaging everyone. What's going on with the divvy? What's going on? So we're going to go over Sterling's video. We're going to give him full props for everything, man. I'm going to say thank you, Sterling, for posting this on your channel and getting all this great information. It was the interview here by the International Investment Forum. Yes. So I'm going to say thank you to Sterling, guys. Go check him out. He is the OG Metamaterials YouTuber. So here's his channel, Sterling Stocks. If you don't know who he is by now, you must be living under a rock. So, all right, let's get in here to these questions. So first one, man, we're going to hit it right off the bat.
Presentation. I think we still have about 15 minutes left for questions. So for the audience, you can post questions in the chat or the Q&A function. So the first question is...
You know it's coming. You know it's coming. When divvy? When divvy is our first question. When freaking divvy? That's the only question that matters, is when divvy. So it's just funny that, you know, I think it was kind of funny that people saying this guy, his first question he asks is when divvy. But basically, it's not really him asking the question. There was people, we had to readjust this here, guys, sorry. There is people that's in the chat of this asking the questions, so that he's asking the people's questions is in the chat. So it's not him directly. But this is the first question he got to. So let's hear what George has to say. I got the closed captions on. That way you can see exactly what's being said. So let's get to it.
Regarding the dividends, are there updates? But I think currently this is not a goal.
So there is the question, update on dividends. But he's saying that he doesn't think it's the goal. It is really about dividends, but he's asking the question that the person in the live stream did ask.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
The first question was about dividends. What's probably the long-term play?
All right, the long-term play on dividends as a whole, obviously, we are at the growth stage of the company. And we intend to, you know, obviously announce any dividends in the future once we reach profitability.
So there's the first part, which George has tweeted about this. I believe it might have been on Twitter or StockTwits. He said once the company is profitable, he would be doing dividends. So that is something to look forward to. If you're buying it now and you plan on holding this out long term, once the company does become profitable, we don't know how long that could be, guys. Could be 2, 3, 5, 10 years before they become profitable. We don't know that. We'll have to keep a look. We will have the earnings coming up. That's going to be later in the video as well. So let's get back here to this answer.
Just like any other company. When it comes to the special dividends or the preferred day shareholders, so there's a, from Torchlight, I guess, is kind of maybe the question. The there is updates that we have shared in the last few weeks. We are working very hard to spin off the assets.
So there it is. In the closed captions, they're working hard to spin off the assets. They mentioned this about Oilco, so we don't know what the spin-off could basically put the assets all into Oilco until they finalize what's going to happen. He also mentioned about the Series A preferred shares, and he referenced Torchlight. I had some people message me. He's not mentioning the MMTLP. They have addressed this before in the reply. Mmat Mmtlp had a letter out. I don't have it on me, unfortunately. But they did address, if you're holding MMTLP, don't let this freak you out. MMTLP is the same thing as the Series A preferred share. I hold mine in Fidelity, and as you see here, it says preferred shares. And in my Fidelity account, it does say Series A preferred share. And when I did those MMAT1 options, it came up before this whole thing merged out. They were coming up TRCH, like Torchlight Energy preferred shares. And once that all cleared up, those Torchlight shares became MMTLP. So guys, don't let that scare you that he said it in that wording. MMTLP is the preferred share. If you're holding MMTLP, yes, you will get the divvy. Just wanted to make that clear for you guys. There's a lot of new investors out there, so we want to make sure we get these answers clear.
And basically, with that process, there will be additional press releases. You can reach out to IR team, Marko Winowski, and basically he can give you updates. But in the meantime, any updates will come through our official press release process.
Okay, so he's not getting into any more detail about it. You can see he was doing the, he wasn't really looking at the camera when he's giving the answer because he's thinking about what he's saying, because he has to be very careful that he doesn't slip up and say anything he shouldn't, because, you know, they're on the NASDAQ. They're a public listed company, man. They have to be careful of what they announce. It has to come in a press release first, then they can say it. So let's get in here to the next question. Okay, so question number 2 we're going to talk about in this video is a big one. We were just talking about the ConocoPhillips. I kind of got mixed reactions on this response, and I'm going to go over a couple key points of my thoughts on this. So let's watch it, then we can go back and just kind of talk about it.
I'm not sure if you can comment on this question. Is ConocoPhillips buying Torchlight property from METATERRY?
I do not believe that that is happening. No.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go back to this, and we got that there. All right, I think it's right here around 37.50. Okay, so he says, are we going to be looking at ConocoPhillips buying the Torchlight Energy? And he could have just came out and said no, or I cannot comment on that. He says, I do not believe. And that's where a lot of the, I guess you could say, speculation. So I'm going to play this again, and we're going to pause it and take a look at some of George's facial expressions as he gives this answer. And I'm going to give you a couple thoughts here.
I'm not sure if you can comment on this question. Is ConocoPhillips buying Torchlight property from METATERRY?
I do not believe that is happening. No.
So he says, I do not believe that is happening. So it's very, he has a little bit of a small smirk here on the face. Now we could be reading, this is all just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. My opinion could be wrong. This is just truly my opinion. Does it mean ConocoPhillips is buying us? No, it does not mean that. They may not be buying us. But this the hint here saying that I do not believe. Because from the press releases, we know that there was multiple buyers of interest in this. So he's not saying flat out no. He could say, I cannot comment on this. He said, I do not believe. So that is where it's kind of interesting. When he talked about the first question, he said, you're going to have to wait for press releases. He could have obviously said that here as well. And he didn't. He could have said, unfortunately, it's about the dividend. You're going to have to wait for our press releases to come out, and that's it. He said, I do not believe. So I think there could be multiple buyers as interest in this, or it could be maybe another oil player. It could be another one. There's a couple big companies out there. I believe it was Exxon, we got Conoco, and a couple other ones that had been selling off older assets, looking to maybe acquire something new. And a lot of them doing share buybacks, a lot of the big oil companies. So that's a possibility. I just wanted to get my opinion out here on this one. And we have please leave your comment down below. How do you take this? From George's Smirk. Yeah, so it's just kind of a small smirk, like I said. The answer was kind of, I don't know, kind of get your hopes up, you know. We don't want to get too in-depth with it, but I just think that it's a possibility. He didn't throw it out the window completely. He just said, I do not believe it's happening, you know. So it didn't say no, he didn't answer. He did give the answer. So let's get into the last and final question. Okay, and the last and final question is going to be about earnings. So let's hear what he has to say about earnings.
When you will report earnings and or estimated earnings?
So by default, it has to be done by next month. So
one thing I want to point right before he even gets an answer, can you see the excitement in George's face? Talking about earnings, and we can go back and watch this clip again. But George's reaction talking about earnings, I mean, that's pretty exciting looking face, if you ask me. The excitement, the facial expression, you could see it here just in the smile and the grin. So is there something going to be special released at the earnings? So let's finish up what he has to say here.
This is kind of a simple answer. We intend to release the date in a press release, so I'm not allowed to say the specific date, but what I can say, it will be early in March.
Okay.
So there you go, it's official. He said early March is when we're looking at. Now, as you know, that can always change, but they have to release it in March. He already said it. It has to be released in March. Okay, so I want to go back to where he asked the question and just watch George's facial expressions. The man is grinning from ear to ear. So that's really exciting to see. Glucose-wise.
Throughout the years, lots of failures. So we tried not to.
Earnings and or estimated earnings.
So
just look at just the beginning of it, the excitement in his face, and he's staring off because he has to make sure he doesn't say something that he can't say. So yeah, that's a very bullish look. Earnings looks very bullish. He did not have this kind of look when we were talking about the ConocoPhillips. He had a small smirk. This one is a full-on grin, man. That's what I'm talking. Full-on grin with this answer. So earnings, I think something's going to be happening in the earnings. There may be an announcement. It may be about the divvy. He did say with the ConocoPhillips that it may not be Conoco. You know, it's not looking like it. It may not be. So we're going to finish this up and we're going to call it end of this video. It's getting a little long.
By default, it has to be done by next month. So this is kind of a simple answer. We intend to release the date in a press release, so I'm not allowed to say the specific date, but what I can say, it will be early in March.
Okay, guys, so there it is. Early March it is. He cannot say the official date, but I am, after this and seeing his reaction, I'm definitely getting bullish on earnings. I have a little disclosure. If you are in my YouTube group, guys, we're going to go to my channel and my videos. If you're in the membership, you would see I bought options on METATERRY. That's right. I posted it in here. Guys, I posted it in here for members only. You can join as little as $2.99 a month on the bronze, $9.99 on the silver, and $49.99 on the gold. You get the loyalty badges and the custom emoji, and each group has a special tier of special perks you get. Even at $2.99, you get to see my buying alerts that I did on options, and metamaterials is an option. I bought the January ones, man, far out. You'll see what strike I bought too if you consider joining, and you can type in the custom emojis that you're seeing down here in live premiere and live streams that we do. We do a lot of live premieres and live streams on the channel. So hope you all enjoyed my reaction to these 3 questions. We're going to come back with a couple more. There's a couple other great points in that Q&A that I want to touch base on and give my opinion on that, because I know you guys like hearing my opinion on what I think about it. And I'd say it's a very exciting interview that he had there. That 15 minutes of questions are pretty exciting. So hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash the thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Peace.